I know the feeling, standing in your kitchen, fresh beans in hand, wondering if that sleek espresso machine you've been eyeing will actually turn your morning ritual into something worth bragging about, or just end up as a pricey countertop ornament. You've probably read a dozen best of lists, seen influencers pull flawless shots in under a minute, and felt that little knot in your stomach wondering if the money you're about to drop will really be justified. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break it down together before you click that add to cart button, because a bad purchase can sit there for months, gathering dust and a growing sense that you overpaid for a gadget that never truly fit your lifestyle. First off, the DeLonghi La Specialista Maestro isn't just another stovetop espresso maker or a basic pod machine. It's a full-size, semi-automatic system that tries to combine the consistency of a commercial grinder with the convenience of a home appliance. The biggest question most people have is, do I really need that built-in grinder? If you're the type who already grind your beans with a separate burr grinder, you might feel you're paying twice for something you already own. On the other hand, if you've been frustrated by the uneven grind of cheap hand crank setups, or you've spent time cleaning a separate grinder every day, the integrated unit could save you both effort and countertop space. The machine's 19-bar Italian pump is often highlighted in marketing copy, but what does that mean in practice? In my own kitchen tests, the pressure felt robust enough to push water through the coffee puck quickly, which translates to a shot extraction time that sits comfortably in the 2,530-second sweet spot. When the pressure is too low, you usually get a weak, under-extracted cup that tastes sour. With the Maestro, I noticed the pressure holding steady even after pulling 3 or 4 shots in a row, which is a practical advantage for those weekend brunches where you're making multiple drinks for friends. The pump's consistency is a real plus for anyone who cares about repeatability without constantly adjusting the grind. Now let's talk about the grinder itself. DeLonghi gives you 15 precise settings, ranging from ultra-fine espresso to a coarser grind suitable for an AeroPress. The key here is the perfect, consistent grinding claim. In real-world use, the grinder does a decent job of delivering a uniform particle size, especially at the medium-fine settings where most home espresso enthusiasts operate. I did a quick visual check by pinching the grounds between my fingers. There were no noticeable clumps or large shards. This consistency saves you from the messy trial and error many newbies experience when trying to dial in a shot on a manual grinder. However, the grinder isn't whisper quiet. You'll definitely hear it chirp when you start a brew. If your kitchen is an open-plan space and you're sensitive to noise, that might be a minor annoyance. Smart tamping technology is another feature that sounds like a gimmick until you actually use it. Traditional tamping requires a separate tamper, firm pressure, and the occasional mess of coffee dust on the counter. The Maestro's built-in tamping system automates the pressure application, eliminating the guesswork of how hard to press. In practice, the tamp is consistent, and because it's integrated, you don't have to worry about spillage. I found the learning curve almost non-existent. Just press the button, and the machine does the rest. For someone who's new to espresso, this removes a major barrier. The downside? If you prefer the tactile feel of manually tamping and adjusting pressure by hand, you might miss that hands-on control. The system is fixed at one pressure level, which works well for most beans but could be limiting if you experiment with extremely light roasts that sometimes benefit from a softer tamp. Temperature stability is a real pain point for many home espresso machines, and the Maestro addresses it with active temperature control and 5 infusion temperature options. In simple terms, the boiler holds the water at a consistent temperature, reducing the swing that can cause a cup to taste either metallic, too hot, or watery, too cool. When I ran a quick side-by-side with a lower-priced machine that lacks this control, the Maestro's shots were noticeably more balanced across multiple brews. The selectable temperatures also let you fine-tune the brew for different beans. Some people love a slightly hotter water for a dark roast to bring out chocolate notes, while a cooler setting can highlight acidity in a light roast. In everyday use, you'll probably stick to one temperature once you find your sweet spot, but the flexibility is there if you like to experiment. Who should buy this machine? If you're a coffee enthusiast who already owns a decent burr grinder and wants a reliable, semi-automatic espresso setup that reduces the daily mess of tamping and grinding, the Maestro is a solid upgrade. It's especially appealing for households where multiple people will be making coffee. Each user can select their preferred grind and temperature without reconfiguring the whole machine. The built-in grinder also means you can